What's up, everybody? I'm Frank, and this week on Vector Wednesday, I'll be doing something a little different. I'm going to be showing my layers. I'm going to be revealing them one at a time for my latest gradient mesh piece that I posted on DeviantArt last week called Freckles. So stay tuned, and we'll be back. Welcome back, fellow meshers. Like I said earlier, this video I'm gonna be showing these layers for this piece. A couple people wanted to see the layers. I guess they want proof. And this is the final piece. And I'm gonna just take all the layers off and just show them one at a time, starting with the eyes. And I did do this a little different, and this is the left eye and the right eye. But with this, I created the white of the eye with that section around it. So, and just, and this was a way more detailed than I usually put into a gradient mesh. And you see some of the layers will reveal some of my mistakes I make. Well, not really mistakes. They're things that I cover up with other sections. So using these layers correctly, you can hide things that you don't want the viewer to see. But with this video, I will be showing you all that. But here is so far showing you the outline, and it's all gradient mesh. And this is the right side of the face, including the ear. When I say right, the viewer's right. Trying to figure out where my layers are. Now this piece, this lower jaw section, the reason I left a lot of it out because it was putting a lot of strain on my computer. So I went as far as I wanted to. Then I started filling in these sections that I call the fixes. So I put the fixes on top of this lower jaw. So it'll just, so I can blend them in with what I had so far. And I did the top lip and left off the bottom lip, as you see. And it just worked out that way. I had originally intended to leave that bottom lip off of this mesh anyway because it had more detail than the top one. So you see these are being replaced with my fixes. And when you do gradient mesh, you can create a bigger mesh like I did when I initially intended for it to work out, but I didn't have an idea it was going to strain the computer. I mean, just the clicking was so tedious. But here's the face so far. All gradient mesh. I had to zoom in at certain times at like 4,000% to see my dots clearly. So a lot of detail. And this was the original neck that I did, but I went back and added a second more detailed version on top for the right side of the neck because my first mesh wasn't picking up what I wanted. So I went and created a second one. Then I just blended. Now this is the hair, the underneath section. And I did it in sections, 2 different sections. Well, actually 3 for the right side. And you see how it doesn't look awesome? I'm about to make it look awesome later. And I use what I did here to cover up. I mean, blend it in with the background, did a couple tricky things with it, and I think it turned out pretty nice. But if you see it as it's being created, you'll think like, what the heck? Like, what is this? But it's all about the finished product. I'm putting this right shoulder in. I went back and added more detail to it. And this is the chest area. You see that big white spot that I left there? It'll all be covered up. It's actually at a 0 opacity. So it's picking up, well, it's 10% opacity. It's picking up the background slightly. bring it in the left section, and like I said, you might not think it looks awesome, but it's all about the finished piece. Bringing in some of the hair strands that I created, and the hair strands are not gradient mesh, but they are vectored. They're using a brush in Illustrator. Got the brush off of DeviantArt also. I'll add the link in the description. So now I added the strands on the top, and you see this, the back, the bottom part. Watch when I bring in this background, how it's gonna fade it out. So it all blends. It's all about blending. That's what the gradient mesh is. So this is the finished piece with all the gradient mesh lines, and each dot in this had to have color added to it. Now I'm gonna add the pillow in, and I'm gonna add my signature. And that's it. And this is the finished piece. So if you have any questions, leave your comments in the section below. And like always, guys, until next time, peace.